Number 1. Everything really is larger in Texas. At 268,596 rectangular miles, Texas is the second one biggest state behind only Alaska. With 25.1 million human beings, in step with the 2010 U.S. Census, its miles the second one maximum populace in the back of simplest California. Texas has the largest state capital constructing and the very best pace restriction, 85 miles per hour alongside a stretch of highway between Austin and San Antonio. It's additionally the state's main farm animals, cotton and oil producer. Size continually went with macho, explained Richard B. McCaslin, a records professor at the University of North Texas. It's all a part of that delight of Texas, being larger, stronger, better, faster, richer. Of path, larger isn't constantly better. Texas grown-up weight problems charge stands at over 30%, and it emits more than twice as many greenhouse gases as any other kingdom. No. 2. Six flags have flown over Texas. Native Americans have lived in Texas for heaps of years, but it did now not emerge as part of a rustic and the cutting-edge experience until Spanish explorers arrived in 1519. The Spanish then essentially neglected it till the 1680s, while the French set up an outpost close to Matagorda Bay. That galvanized the Spaniards, who said, "There may not be something there, however damned if we're going to allow the French have it," McCaslin said. Although Mexico's War of Independence pushed out Spain in 1821, Texas did now not continue to be a Mexican ownership for long. It became its very own U.S., referred to as the Republic of Texas, from 1836 until it agreed to join America in 1845. 16 years later, it seceded in conjunction with 10 different states to form the Confederacy. The Civil War compelled it lower back into the Union, in which it has stayed ever on account that the various flags which have flown over Texas, those of Spain, France, Mexico, the Republic of Texas, the USA and the Confederacy, stimulated the call of the Six Flags amusement park chain, which originated in Texas in 1961. No. 3. Texas might have been even larger. During its duration as an unbiased U.S. Texas tried to extend south and west into what became then Mexico. There become a whole series of expeditions and counter-expeditions and skirmishes and battles, stated Bob Brinkman, coordinator of the historical markers software on the Texas Historical Commission, a state company. Even after becoming a member of the U.S., Texas held on to the idea that it might take a massive chunk of the territory of New Mexico. But as a part of the Compromise of 1850, which maintained the balance of electricity between free and slave states, it relinquished claims to roughly 67 million acres and alternate for $10 million to repay its debt. No. 4. Texas hosted what turned into arguably the ultimate battle of the Civil War. Confederate General Robert E. Lee surrendered at Appomattox Courthouse in April 1865. Yet no matter being completely aware of this, Northern and Southern forces squared off the following month in the Battle of Palmito Ranch. It should have been only a massive mob combat, McCaslin stated in describing the conflict, which occurred on a coastal prairie east of Brownsville, Texas. Ironically, the Confederates won what is considered, in Texas, at least, the closing land motion of the Civil War. With cavalry and artillery, the Confederates killed or wounded a few 30 opponents, captured more than 100 others and compelled the rest again to a base near the mouth of the Rio Grande. It became a quick-lived victory, but, as they agreed to put down their fingers multiple weeks later. No. 5. The deadliest herbal disaster in U.S. history befell in Texas. Galveston, Texas, an island town located approximately 50 miles southeast of Houston, became once the country's largest cotton port, a playground for millionaires and a primary gateway for arriving immigrants. But on September 8, 1900, a Category 4 typhoon slammed the region with a 15-foot storm surge and finishes up to 140 miles in keeping with our. Relatively few residents evacuated, in part due to the fact U.S. climate forecasters had downplayed warnings from their Cuban counterparts, and an estimated 8,000 people died. "We got caught flat-footed," McCaslin stated. "It become horrendous. The water literally swept over the island. In the storm's aftermath, Galveston constructed a seawall and raised its elevation with sand from the Gulf of Mexico. Although 48,000 humans currently live there, it has in no way regained its former glory. No. 6. 2 presidents had been born in Texas, and neither was named Bush. Born in Denison, Texas, in 1890, Dwight D. Eisenhower moved to Kansas as a little one and did now not return to the Lone Star State till he turned into station there as a second lieutenant in the Army. Lyndon B. Johnson, however, was a Texan through and through. He was born one city over from Johnson City, which his loved ones had helped settle, grew up and went to university in state, and later served as a U.S. representative and U.S. senator from Texas. He ascended to the White House much less than 3 years after Eisenhower left it. 2 more presidents, George H. W. Bush and George W. Bush, established political careers in Texas, but both had been born in New England. No. 7. Don't Mess with Texas commenced as an anti-litter message. In the 1980s, Texas spent approximately $20 million at 12 months cleaning up trash along its highways. It become now not unusual to peer cowboys driving down the road tossing a logger can out the window, stated Mark S. Saka, a history professor at Sewell Ross State University. As a result, the country Department of Transportation employed an advertising enterprise to assist with its anti-clutter campaign. The organization came up with the word "Don't Mess with Texas," which first aired on television for the duration of the 1986 Cotton Bowl and has, when you consider that, changed into an unofficial slogan for Texas pleasure. It caught on, Saka stated. I truly have a bumper decal that says that. No. 8. Texas was as soon as the domain of Democrats. Abraham Lincoln's election in 1860 because the first Republican president prompted Texas to go away the Union. The anti-slavery, pro-Reconstruction Republicans remained anathema there for many years to come back, losing every presidential election however won till 1952. This became commonplace in the course of the South, said Saka. Although Texans sometimes become aware of with the American West, he brought, this is a Southern nation traditionally, culturally, politically and economically. Cracks inside the Democratic majority commenced becoming great at some point of the civil rights movement and social upheaval of the 1960s. John Tower, a Republican, received Lyndon B. Johnson's old Senate seat in 1961, and in 1979 William Clements became the first Republican governor because Reconstruction. Today, Republicans manipulate every statewide workplace, each houses of the state legislature and 2/3 of the seats within the U.S. House of Representatives. No Republican presidential candidate has misplaced the state on the grounds that 1976. Even so, Democrats are hopeful that Texas will someday turn blue. The huge shift right here may be the upward thrust of the Mexican-American population and the shrinking and aging of the Anglo population, Saka said. No. 9. Texas could split into 5 states. Contrary to famous notion, Texas has no more proper to secede than any other kingdom. But its 1845 annexation agreement does permit its department into as many as 5 states without federal approval. The funny story is that if there were 5 states, then who could get the Alamo? Brinkman said. Or would it not be a Pie Ridge radiating out from that web page? No extreme strive at splitting up Texas has been made due to the factory construction, and the concept has by no means been tested within the courts. Nonetheless, the nation's hypothetical partition still receives kicked around every so often. In 1969, as an instance, a state senator proposed a 51st state within Texas that might be open to pari-mutuel making a bet, at the same time as in 1991 a kingdom consultant brought a bill to show the panhandle into a country known as Old Texas.